Man, not surprised about the outcome, but gotta say, another week and not a good Monday night to be a Texans fan, that's for sure. As the Bucs walked out of Houston with a 20-19 victory, credit to them, they deserved it. I mean, in a game that the Buccaneers were just giving the game away to the Texans, and yet, you know, when it came time to, put up points on the board, that's where they faltered. That's where they faltered it when it came down to put points on the board. Stroud was sacked 3 times. He did throw a TD to Nico Collins in that first quarter, but man, Nico, ever since that TD to open up the game, Nico, was missing throughout most of the game. I mean, and there were times that the offense moved the ball, but man, missed opportunities were a pain in the neck once again. And going forward and on 4th down instead of taking the 3, I find that pretty head scratching. I mean, sure, credit the Tampa defense and all, they did what they had to do, but they got to take the points, man, because if you think about it, they could have been up 16-14 at one point. Now, as far as the defense, yeah, they had their moments when they got gashed in the run and, missed tackles, including that missed sack that would have sealed the game for Henry Toto. I mean, after that missed sack by Toto, there was that was pretty much no coming back from that. No coming back from that missed sack by Toto. And yeah, they missed tackles, they got, even with through all of that, they still managed to get 4 sacks, They was just giving up. Hell, even special teams was giving the offense chance to put points on the board. Still came away with nothing. No touchdowns to show for it. I mean, like I mentioned before, this relying on the defense stuff is getting old. And yeah, Houston is 0-2, and last time they were 0-2, they went on to make the playoffs. But the difference is, they didn't have a first place schedule like they do in 2025, considering they have to face Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, hell, even San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, they dealing with some injuries right now, but I mean, with Indianapolis being 2-0, I mean, this was like a much more important game for them to get in the win column, considering the fact both Jacksonville and Tennessee lost, but, missed opportunities bit them in the butt once again. So that's example right there, 0-2 for a reason. That to serve them as another rude awakening right there. I mean, you can't put points up on the board when it matters. You gotta have a hard time winning, no matter who the opponent is. And of course, gotta talk about the penalties that they're still committing. They had 7 in the game, 5 on the defense. Pretty boneheaded penalties. Gotta stop committing those penalties, because if I think about it, this team could have been blown out today. The Buccaneers were finding their groove here and there. I mean, hell, if not for our defense, they could have been blown out today. Tonight, I should say. I mean, goddamn. And Stroud, yeah, he had a little over 200 yards passing, but I still feel like he's still missing throws left and right. Yeah, the O-line still, the times that they bought him time, but pretty inexcusably accurate. I mean, you gotta make those throws, man, if you hope to move the ball more effectively. Yeah, it sucks he was sacked 3 times, and OC, much Bobby Slowick 2.0, which is, part of my overreaction thought of the night. I mean, yeah, I may be overreacting there, but Nick Caley's pretty much Bobby Slowick 2.0 at this point. I mean, yeah, I may be overreacting, but that's just the way I'm looking at it. Because he's not putting the offense in good enough positions, to sustain drives when it counts the most. And to make matters crazy, I mean, Jacksonville can pretty much beat them this Sunday in Duval. I mean, that's just how bad it is right now for the Texans. I mean, all I'm saying is, man, Houston better figure things out, because it's not going to get any easier down the road. Because, yeah, they got to face, the Jags in Duval before coming back to Houston to face the Tennessee Titans, in the AFC South battle. Because with these AFC South matchups, not everything's guaranteed. So they need to figure things out and quickly, because it's already enough. The concerns are growing more and more each passing second. Yeah, they got to figure things out fast. But yeah, the Texans fall on 2, and congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their fans. Also shout out to the Bucs fans, traveling safely to Houston, watching the Bucs win. And also credit that defense utilized by Todd Bowles. He managed to, create pressures, to make life a little uncomfortable for the Texans offense. But on to the Jaguars, Texans fall to 0-2, and always and forever, go Houston Texans. But they need to figure things out quickly.